Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. This is a custom 1v1 between Geezer, and he's going first land, and he's Cybran, and Blitzel, and he is Seraphim. Going first land, the map is Hollow. A remake of another map. This remake is made by Bias. I can't remember the name of the other map though, to be honest. First land, first air from Geezer, and he's gone 2 pigeons first, and that means he's going first Jester. This is a build, I think. That's an old build people know from a long time ago. And if you want to go first Jester, you need 2 pigeons because, well, if you're going first Bomber, you need 1 pigeon. Jester is a lot more expensive than a Bomber. Basically, twice as much. Bit more than twice as much power. And almost twice as much mass, so. You need more pigeons, so he makes 2, makes here factory, starts a Jester. And then makes another pigeon, and now he's assisting the factory. And then he'll continue building his base, build the mexes and some power and a land factory. Bit of a stall, doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter if you stall here because there's absolutely nothing. It doesn't make any difference. See, if you had mexes built, then you would lose a bit of mass by stalling power because mexes, you can see, take power to run. So if you're power stalling, your mexes produce less mass. That's why power stalling is so bad. It doesn't just slow down your production of units and things, but also your mass production. So Jester seems to be moving sideways a bit. I think he's trying not to go over the mountain so that he doesn't have to, well, it might slow him down if he has to go up and over the mountains. So he's just going to go straight to the base. Obviously doesn't need an air scout like a first bomber because he has such good vision with a gunship. And he's going to target all the engineers. What's going on here? He wasn't hitting that. Oh, he was attacking a mex for some reason. But it looked like he targeted the engineer, and he just wasted all this damage on a pigeon or on a mex. That's actually sad. But it looked like he targeted the engineer. Strange. So there's still, he could come around and go after these 2 engineers expanding here. There's also tanks coming to raid him, and that's a problem when you don't have a land factory yet. Let's see. So yeah, build not perfect, but that's usually what happens when you go for a build like this. Your economy management at the start isn't going to be perfect. Now it's actually quite nice to do Jester first on this map, I guess, because you have all this reclaim. So he could have gotten a land factory quicker for sure, I think. Built less power. He's come after more engineers here. Got another one. Blitzel has made well, quite a few anti-air. He immediately made 4 anti-air, and now he's also gone 3rd air. These anti-air are following the Jester around. They have an attack order. Maybe you shouldn't attack with all 3. You should have maybe just follow around with 1 or 2 and have another one spread out, because the Jester could just move around and come to the top side, which is exactly what it's doing. He just flew past an anti-air. Another thing, anti-air, you can see, have a very much larger range than they have vision. Oh no, he's running right into, yeah, there goes the Jester. So he should be grabbing that reclaim. Jester is quite juicy. 160 mass. And now we have the raids coming in. Both tanks in the same place. That's probably a mistake there, really. You don't need both tanks in the same place. When your opponent has gone first Jester, they're obviously not going to have any units. Geezer with a lot of engineers in the base. I think he has far too many engineers, actually. Just considering Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, engineers at this factory. I mean, you you really need tanks. Probably wouldn't build any engineers or very few out of those land factories because, well, this is happening. Hydra is denied, but he will catch the tanks. You see, if there's, he could have had one tank here, done the damage, and also had a tank over here going after this engineer. You can see there's a reclaim patch here. And if you use this command, you can see whether your opponent is taking this or not. Because some of the mass will have disappeared. You can see here that some mass has been taken. So you know there's an engineer here. So maybe not the best reaction from Blitzel, but I think in strategies like this, a bad reaction is what you have to hope for. Even if you have a, I mean, it's unlikely you're gonna have a perfect reaction. So less than perfect reaction, you can probably expect that, and probably too much anti-air and not sufficient raiding. When your opponent has only an air factory, I mean the problem is that he's Seraphim, so that's probably one of the reasons maybe Keyser went for this, was because one, Blitzel maybe, well, I don't think Blitzel was expecting first gesture, and also he has no labs to really punish a player that only has an air factory. Labs are excellent versus things like first bomber and first jester, because of course they get across the map so much faster, and they're just as good at killing engineers as tanks are, pretty much. So that's not a bad raid there, and looks like we'll have more raiding coming. A transport out for Keyser. Not unusual to have a transport on this map because the mechs are so spread out, especially up here. You'll see drops up to these mechs, and to get some of your raided mexes back. So transport, very commonly see transports on this map to expand and grab mexes. And there's quite a lot of tanks, and they all seem to be going over here. Looks like he wants to cut off the map here and then grab the top side. Needs to clean up the few tanks that are there, and then a transport would be very nice for Blitzel as well here to grab these top side. Also has some tanks over here. Don't know where these tanks are going. Oh, they're patrolling somehow. Interesting. Here's the transport. Now it doesn't know where to go because Keyser has no map control really with his tanks. He's got some nice raiding, but he doesn't have control of these mexes with his tanks, which is where you'd want to drop really. Also his ACU not very active. There is reclaim in middle, although it's not that much. But still, it's there. Maybe a bit too many land factories for Keyser. He can't really afford to support them all without some reclaim. And this looks dangerous over here. And the ACUs meet in middle, and Keyser can't really afford to go after this ACU. Blitzel probably doesn't have many units with him because he's retreating, and he also probably doesn't have vision either. Both at the edge of their radar range, so both of them scared to press. Blitzel has no units with him. Keyser also had no units with him, so that could have been a suicide from Blitzel, honestly, right there. If he runs into the ACU that has units with it. So he immediately backs up, which is a good decision. Again, also maybe... Oh, he's finishing a mech, so that's where the stall is coming from. Then he'll probably have a nice balance. Yep, not too bad. And he's now T2, has two T2 mexes. Keyser without any. The transport gets shot down, but seems to have dropped its cargo. You can see some engineers spread about. And this engineer goes down though, it's not protected. The Mantis could finish the mechs. That would be one thing to do, but maybe we'll also get a factory here, radar, some kind of outpost. Now this fight looks like some Mantis are getting trapped, but he's getting good trades. You can see how close together Keyser's Mantis are, and they're getting decent trades with the reclaim. Well, there's a lot of signatures there on the radar. So this reclaim is probably going to be for Blitzel, who has the mass lead. Seems to have, well, certainly looks like he has more units. We got 50 T1 tanks, 34 here. But T2 land is up for Keyser. He also has no economy, so Blitzel in a good position. But if he doesn't get the map control for, you see, he has more tanks, but he hasn't got either side here, so that's a problem. And we don't have a transport queued up, so it doesn't look like he's going to get these sides anytime soon, because there's not that many engineers around. Well, there's some on this side, and a decently placed factory here, pretty far forward. But T2 land is coming from Keyser, and it's actually not been scouted. That factory was not scouted earlier, so he doesn't know T2 land is here yet. He's just focusing on eco. He should definitely be thinking about T2 land now that he has some economy up. He definitely can afford T2 land, can get some production going. And seeing as he doesn't know that there's T2 land, he doesn't really know that he really needs to get this map control. Well, he should know he needs to get this map control already anyway. But maybe he doesn't know he had the unit lead there, which is understandable considering he had eco and Keyser doesn't. Keyser finishing his, well, halfway through his T2 P-Gen, a bit more than that. And no support factories. And also his T2 HQ is idle now, so gotta get working on that. So many engineers about. Where are they going? There's a whole squadron of engineers. Those would be nice in the base to assist the T2 HQ and maybe pause some of these land factories, T1 land factories. And this HQ is no longer idle, and he's going for hoplites. Beautiful hoplites. Such an underused unit. People are afraid that they're gonna die very quickly, and they can die pretty quickly, but I mean, you really want to make them early on and pit them against T1 units, and then they're not in that much danger, really. You run them around with Mantis, and you know, they have twice as much HP as a Mantis, so, and they're very, very quick, so you can react, and that's a PD. I wonder how much his economy tanked when he built that PD with this many engineers. 11 engineers, and they drain what, like 5 mass? Holy shit. Well, he built it quickly anyway. A lot of T1 units on the top side, and where's that? Well, the transport died, so maybe we need a replacement. The T2 engineers are now assisting the air factory. Well, seeing as he has his P-Gen up, he can definitely afford to do that, so maybe he's going for air control. Looks like Blitzel has quite a lot of area. He has T2 land now. He's making more eco, making his 5th T2 mechs. Blitzel following the simple rule of eco, which is 1 mechs at a time. Which is normal on maps where you don't have huge amounts of mass, but oh, the hoplite dies. That's the very first hoplite, and it was quite alone there, and that is the danger of hoplites. Also, Keyser is pretty exposed with his ACU. He's gonna do some epic Hydra raiding though. That's not a bad kill. Should take the mass as well though. And this raiding is so, well, I mean, I guess it's only 1 T1 mechs and it's a lot of T1 units, but still very annoying. And now he may actually try and surround this Ilchevo, but it's kiting away from him, and there's a second Ilchevo coming in. Oh, it's not kiting away, it's running right into the middle of them. Still doesn't matter, it's going to be a mass domination. And doesn't really want these to turn into a mass domination either, but they're probably gonna. So let's see how the hoplites do. We've already seen how that one hoplite did. It wasn't good. And now we do have some paused T1 factories. Geezer without T2 mexes is struggling to pay for his T2 production. I mean, 2 support factories now is maybe too many, or definitely too many. Still fighting over here. Geezer seems like he's had less units here the whole game, but still is holding that position. Which is quite nice for him. Now, one nice thing about hoplites, they can deal with PDs very effectively. And this ACU is protecting the hoplites. Needs to kite back now. There's a lot of tanks here. But they're all gonna die. Keys are taking care of them with ACU. And the hoplites. Hoplites such a nice range, and it's going to be interesting to see how the hoplites do versus the Ilchevo. You can use... Hoplites can be better than other T2 units versus Ilchevo. I mean, as Siren, I think you either go Rhinos with Medusa to get the stuns. Now, if you do get those stuns on the Ilshis, then you're going to be doing well. But also, there's only a few units that outrange Ilchevo and T2 stage. Hoplite, Mongoose, which is, well, it's worse than the Hoplite. But getting a bit of a buff in beta. Hoplites have the potential to do well, but it requires nice micro. And also, I think stealth fields are needed to help out with that micro. And now we have an air fight. Looks like decent micro from both players, but Keezer maybe had a bit more. And then they turned away from each other. And yeah, Keezer is going to win this, but it's going to be not a complete crush. Keezer lost a fair bit of air, and there's a huge reclaim field here now. Let's see how much mass on the screen. Over 4,000 mass, so we should be seeing reinforcements sent here. And actually, this ACU is here. Mostly, all the Ilshis are on the top side, so this is a huge reclaim field. There's also a lot of reclaim here that needs to be taken. Blitzel has the opportunity to take all of this. He also, yeah, definitely needs to be more careful about grabbing reclaim. You got to be very, very diligent, because reclaim, I mean, let's see, total mass, right? 32,000 for the whole game. And up here we have 4,500 reclaim. That's a huge percentage of his total mass. Down here, another screen of reclaim, 2,000. Down here, 1,200. So, I mean, that's a huge percentage of what his total mass is currently. And that's why you have to be very, very greedy and grab all the reclaim you can. Because it's it's a lot of income. And actually we have T2 air from Keezer as well, so he won that air fight at the exact right time. A lot of times you will see people lose the air fight exactly when they have T2 air, because of course their air factory has stopped producing while they're upgrading, and then they lose air just as it finishes. That's oh, needs to protect his gunships. I think one just dropped out of the sky. But Blitzel is gonna lose his inties. Need to move back towards the inties, let them fly past you, and then your inties can clean up theirs. So we lost maybe 1 or 2 gunships, but the Ilshis are, well, they're just running in, and I think it's time to turn back, really, not to run in, because there's no anti-air, there's no flak, so a bit greedy to not make any flak there early on. Hoplites at the bottom side haven't had that much to do, but together with the ACU they've taken control of the bottom side. The top side, although it's all been killed, has not been taken control of by Blitzel, and there's just Ilshis running into the base now and dying to, well, there's hoplites here, and also the gunships doing the majority of the work. Now the bane of the range bots, T1 bombers. 3 bombs will take out the hoplites, and now the hoplites dodging out of range of bombers and into range of Ilchevo. So many hoplites. It's just pure hoplite spam from Keyser. And he has 24 of them, and he has 1 stealth field somewhere. Oh, here it is. Just stealthing this flak on the hill. Hoplites doing some raiding. See, this guy already has a vet. Can't really continue going too far now without radar. No land scouts to help out the hoplites, unfortunately. But Keyser has decent map control. He also has very poor scouting. Needs to maybe get another mechs upgrade. Yeah, you can see he just sends 1 hoplite in to do some raiding. Oh, he left the mechs alive. And now gunships head to the top side, where there's likely going to be something to kill. There goes that hoplite. He finds another T2 mechs. Uh-oh. Don't send those hoplites in. Gunship's gonna try and control the top of the map. And here comes a gun ACU from Blitzel, and he's brought a single flak with him. You're gonna need more than 1 flak here, I think. Let's see what 6 hoplites do to an Ilchevo. What is it, 3 volleys and it'll die? Oh, dodges. You can see it takes care of them pretty quickly. And of course the beauty is they took absolutely no damage while killing that Ilshi. Now, it's not exactly a fair fight, 6 versus 1, but you can see the potential for nice trades is there. And this gun ACU is coming down to the bottom. Maybe he's looking for the ACU, but this Keyser's already evacuated. Heading home to his base. He has no upgrades. He is losing these gunships, maybe sloppily. And if he comes in with his air, Blitzel can hide over this flak. Yeah, you can see the flak moving in. And the inties move back. Uh-oh. Some Ilshis have gotten into range. Down goes that one, and now he can try and run away. Loses a couple of hoplites, but only a couple. And hoplites are doing pretty nicely for him. And he doesn't even have stealth in this group. Over here now we have the stealth field, although it seems to be turned off. I get some power problems for Keyser. He has a second PGen now. That should solve that. And map control, the raiding. The raiding is pretty brutal. The whole topside has died to gunships and also a couple of mantis. And this gun ACU has not been effective. And look at this. Gotta love Keyser's micro. Look at this group of hoplites here. A lot of kills. These both have a vet level. All of these have a vet level, except this one, which is 4 mass away from a vet level. So very nice micro. Although now I think he has no radar vision, and that's a problem. But does Blitzel have radar? Oh, he doesn't. That's a real problem. If he had radar here, it would take so much less damage from the hoplites, because the hoplites don't even have radar either. And all these Ilshis are dead. They're doomed. He might kill 1 hoplite. Oh, some friendly fire. That's 2 dead hoplites from friendly fire, and almost killed the stealth field and then 3rd hoplite. But that is a big army of hoplites. Now he really could do with some land scouts. But he has some sneaky engineers in the area, so he gets a radar up. And he is getting his eco in order as well. Look at this, quite nice. 62 mechs. So 7, he has one down here. And now mixing in rhinos as well. He's found the gun ACU. Geezer would be so happy to see this gun ACU here. Just in the middle of nowhere. And actually, we now have 41 hoplites. 41 hoplites. I don't remember the last game I saw 41 hoplites. Goodbye. And the hoplites and the rhinos are coming for this gun ACU. And the stealth field definitely going to help him out here. This whole army is stealthed. Oh, the radar gets taken out. So he's going to need to use his air to give him the vision on the ACU. Oh, this is so many hoplites coming for the gun ACU. Does he know that there's an entire army coming for him? Oh no, he has no vision. Now 5 Ilshis come to try and help him out. Oh, he shouldn't be kiting away. I think maybe he's just trying to dodge some of the rockets, but there's so many rockets that you really can't dodge them. Because all the hoplites are shooting at different times. And the Ilshis are getting destroyed. And now he sees this massive army coming for his ACU. He does have overcharge, but it doesn't look like he is overcharging. Oh, oh my god, the damage. He's trying to dodge the rockets. You can dodge quite a lot of damage, but he's going to get surrounded by hoplites. Geezer landing his air on top of the ACU. Down to 6,000 HP already. The Ilshis are coming in, but they're getting destroyed as well. Oh. Goodbye. Yeah, good luck dodging 500 rockets. And Blitzel dies to 40 hoplites. GG, well played. Geezer. That was nice. Well, if any of you know when the last time you saw that many hoplites is, then send me that replay. But I think Geezer did a good job showing us the advantages of, well, the advantages of First Jester, first of all, and also the advantages of pure hoplite spam. 2 support factories and the HQ. And 40 hoplites versus an ACU. Very nice gameplay. Cybrans take note. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And tune in very soon for another cast.